that is the bottle that I brought back from France. It's a sort of Olympic style Coca-Cola bottle. And it reminds me about a story that I want to tell you guys from my trip to the south of France. So, I got that bottle in a little place called Avignon, close-ish to the south coast of France. That Coke bottle, specifically that Coke bottle, was from a small cafe just in between Saint-Etienne and Avignon. It was bought for me by a gentleman I met riding out there called John. Now the story of John is special to me because he doesn't know it, but he had a significant part in the resurrection of my mental stability on that bike ride. 5 days before, I was at a low point on the ride, and when I say low point, I was willing to call my parents and ask them to come pick me up because I didn't want to go on any longer. Not because of physical strain or anything medical, but because of my loneliness and surprise at how low my mental stability got. I was really suffering in that department. 2 days later, I stopped at a campsite on the Rhone, set up camp and went for a shower in the toilet blocks. Coming out, I heard a gentleman asked in very broken French if this was the queue to the toilets, and I said, yes it is, it's the only one in this campsite. To which he replied, you speak English? We then had a conversation about how I was the only person he'd met on his journey to speak English. He was doing a similar thing to me. He was cycling from the south of the Netherlands all the way down to Avignon and then returning on the train. We then had a short conversation and decided we wouldn't be opposed to cycling with each other the next morning if we set off and found each other along the way, because we both discovered that we were going towards Avignon. He was also the first person that I met who spoke English as well. And it was the first time in 10 days that I'd had a conversation in person with someone more than just, can I have a croissant or a Coke or a tea or a coffee? And it was everything I needed. In those few days, all I wanted to do was see my family and my friends and speak to someone in English and have a conversation and socialize again. It had hit me that I was alone and I hadn't talked to anyone or seen anyone I knew in over a week, in over 10 days. The night before I met John, I gave up mentally because of the fact that I was so lonely. We then spent the day cycling about halfway towards Avignon from that campsite I met him at, talking about what he does for a living, talking about what I do, where I've been to uni, where I've travelled, where I've cycled from, his family, his son, his wife waiting for him, his job he's got to get back to in 3 weeks. I couldn't have asked for a better time to meet John. He genuinely saved me on that trip. I'm very thankful for him showing up. He did a pretty good job at just being a person I could talk to. Shout out to John. I'm out in the park now. I've just done about 8 laps around this fountain behind me on the roundabout. It's the first time on this bike since the big journey. It came back from France a few days ago. I'm feeling good on it. I've got an appointment tomorrow to fix the back wheel. I also promised the guys at the bike shop, because they fitted my cleats for free, I promised them some French biscuits. I don't have French biscuits, but to be fair, they originally asked for some chocolate biscuits. I've just found a credit card on the floor. Where would you even hand that in? I'm in the middle of a park. Excuse me, mate. Is your name Jacqueline Gaskell?
No, you're keeping it.
Can I hand this in here? I found it on the roundabout. Well, handed it into the local cafe over there. You know, good deed for the day. Could have paid for something at the cafe, but decided to hand it in. Hopefully I get some good karma. Little outfit change. Headed to work now. If you guys have ever watched a single one of these vlogs, you will understand that I have been looking for a new lens and trying to fix my lens for about 4 months now. There is a lens in the nearby photography shop for £150. I've seen it online on eBay for £125, so I'm gonna go over and ask if I can get it down to that price. It's autofocus. It's a full frame Sony E-mount lens. It's 28-70, so it gives me a good range for videography. And it's making me really excited to get it and try it out and have it for next week. And it's really cheap. I mean, for an actual usable lens like the one I want, it's 120 to 150 quid. It's honestly perfectly price ranged. So I'm gonna go before I head to work, which is on the way, and see if I should pick it up. Oh. Let's do it. Perfect. I'm gonna do it. He's gonna leave it on hold for me. He's also probably gonna take the price down, which is good news. I'm so excited now.